Let's start learning grammar. In this video, we will understand what is an adjective phrase, how to identify an adjective phrase in a sentence, role or function of an adjective phrase in a sentence, and we will take few examples of adjective phrases for better understanding. Now, first of all, let us understand what is the definition of adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is a group of words that includes an adjective that modifies a noun or a pronoun. Now, as per the definition, we never understand what does it mean. So let us understand this with the help of examples. Now, here we know that phrase means a group of words and adjective means describing words. So, a group of words that describes a noun or a pronoun, that is adjective phrase. Now, look at the example. Monica is sweet girl. Here, the word sweet is an adjective. Monica is sweet, intelligent and beautiful girl. So we have used these three words to describe this noun, and that is why this group of word is known as adjective phrase. I hope you are understanding the difference between an adjective and an adjective phrase. Now, let us look at the another example. A small kitten is sitting in the corner. So here basically we are talking about our noun kitten, and we have given the quality small. So here small is an adjective. But when we say a very small kitten is sitting in the corner, so here very small is a group of word which is describing this kitten, and that is why this group of word will be known as adjective phrase. And similarly, the woman walked down the street. Now here we do not have any describing word for this woman, but when we say the dazzlingly beautiful woman, so we are describing this woman, this noun, with these two words, or you can say a group of words, and that is why this group of word is known as adjective phrase. So I hope now you have understood what is the difference between an adjective and an adjective phrase. Adjective means a single word which is used for describing a noun. And when we have a group of words, as we know that phrase means a group of words, and that is why this particular group of word is used to describe this particular noun, and that is why this is known as adjective phrase. Now let's try to understand how to identify an adjective phrase in a sentence. So it is very simple. What we can do? We can ask ourselves, what is this phrase modifying in this sentence? Is it describing a noun or a pronoun? So if our answer will come out as yes for both these questions, then definitely it is working as an adjective phrase. Now let us understand this with the help of examples. The dog that seems very happy wags his tail all day long. Now here, look at this group of words. Now ask yourself, what is this phrase modifying? So here we know the answer. This particular phrase is modifying the dog, or you can simply say our noun dog. And that is why, is it describing a noun or a pronoun? Yes, dog is a noun, and that is why this group of word is describing this noun, and that is why we will call it adjective phrase. Similarly, he is from Boston. Now, from Boston. So, what is this phrase modifying? This particular phrase is modifying this pronoun he, and that is why this group of word will be known as adjective phrase. Similarly, the bakery around the corner sells cakes. Now here we are describing this bakery with these words around the corner. And that is why this group of word will be known as adjective phrase, because these three words are used to describe this noun bakery. So, in all these examples, we can see that this group of word is modifying a particular noun or a pronoun. So, here we have noun or pronouns, and that is why this group of word or these group of words are acting as adjective phrase. The bird in the tree flew away. So, in the tree means we are talking about that particular bird which is there in the tree. Is this particular group of word is adjective phrase, and I hope you have understood what is an adjective phrase. Now, let us understand what is the function of an adjective phrase in a sentence. Now, adjective phrases majorly have two primary functions. Now, they function as attributive. Now, attributive means a quality or a feature or a characteristic of someone or something. So, when they are used to modify nouns inside a noun phrase, that is known as attributive adjective phrase. So, do not get confused here. Let me explain it in detail. So, the scarcity of supplies has become an increasingly difficult problem. Now, here we are talking about the noun problem, and to this noun we have added these two extra words to add more information about this problem. And what are these two words? Increasingly difficult. And that is why these two words, they are directly attached with our noun problem. And that is why this particular phrase will be known as attributive adjective phrase. I hope you have understood what is an attributive adjective phrase. Let us understand the second function of an adjective phrase. Now, what is that? That is predicative. Now, they function as predicative when they are linked to their noun or pronoun with a linking verb. Now, this is very simple. Here, you will be able to differentiate between attributive and predicative. In predicative, we have linking verbs, but in attributive, we do not have linking verbs. For example, apples taste sweet and delicious. Now, sweet and delicious. So, what is sweet and delicious? We are talking about noun apples. And this particular phrase is linked to this noun with this particular linking verb. So, here taste is a linking verb. This particular verb is linking this noun and this phrase, and that is why this particular phrase is known as predicative adjective phrase. Here you can compare that increasingly difficult problem. Now here we do not have any linking verb, and that is why it is directly attached with a noun, and that is why it is known as attributive adjective phrase. So in senior classes, in class 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, you will be asked to differentiate between attributive adjective phrase and predicative adjective phrase. So you should know what is the difference between these two. Similarly, we can understand this with the help of another example. The speaker is convincing and intelligent. Now, convincing and intelligent. Who is convincing and intelligent? Obviously, we are talking about the speaker. And this particular phrase is linked to this particular noun with this particular verb, and that is why this verb is known as linking verb, because it is linking, it is joining this phrase and this noun, and that is why this particular phrase is playing the role of predicative adjective phrase. So I hope now you have understood what is an attributive adjective phrase and what is a predicative adjective phrase. Now, let us take some examples and try to find out adjective phrases in these examples and whether they are playing the role of attributive adjective phrase or predicative adjective phrase. Dining out is usually not very healthy. So here, not very healthy. So what is not very healthy? Basically, we are talking about dining out. So dining out is a noun here and not very healthy is a phrase. And here, as it is linked with a linking verb, that is why it is predicative adjective phrase. Let us take another example. She had the most silky, smooth, and radiant hair. So here we are talking about silky, smooth, and radiant hair. So our hair is noun and they are directly linked with this hair without any verb in between. So that is why this particular group of word will be known as adjective phrase. And what kind of adjective phrase is this? This is attributive adjective phrase because there is no linking verb here. I hope now you have understood the difference between attributive adjective phrase and predicative adjective phrase. The movie was not too terrible. Now, not too terrible. So, basically, we are talking about movie. So, these three words, this group of word, which is called adjective phrase, is describing movie. But this phrase is linked with this noun with this linking verb, and that is why this particular group of word is known as predicative adjective phrase. You can simply call it adjective phrase because it is describing movie, and if you want to explain it in advanced level, then you can use the word predicative adjective phrase. The cost of the car was way too high. So here, what are we talking about? We are talking about the cost of the car. And what is it? It is way too high. So these three words, they are explaining or they are describing the cost of the car. And here also, as these three words, way too high, which is called an adjective phrase, is linked with the cost with an linking verb, and that is why it is predicative adjective phrase. Something in the corner was moving. Now here, something in the corner. Now in the corner is an adjective phrase and it is directly attached with our noun something, and that is why it is attributive adjective phrase. The big bug under the blanket is coming towards me. So here we are talking about a big bug which is under the blanket. So this is an adjective phrase because this phrase is describing this bug, and that is why as it is directly connected with our noun, it is attributive adjective phrase. Her eyes were incredibly mesmerizing to the young man. Now here, incredibly mesmerizing. Now this is adjective phrase which is describing her eyes, and this particular phrase which is an adjective phrase is linked to this noun with the help of a linking verb were. That is why it is predicative adjective phrase. The man covered with sweat ran away. Now here we are talking about the man who is covered with sweat. Now these three words, they are describing our noun man, and that is why this particular phrase, which is an adjective phrase, is known as attributive adjective phrase. So I hope you have understood clearly what is an adjective phrase, what is an attributive adjective phrase and what is a predicative adjective phrase. I hope you have understood everything in detail. So in future, I hope you are not going to make any error in adjective phrases. Keep learning.